Artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's in our classrooms, in our conversations, and in the promises made by tech companies that claim it will revolutionize education. We hear about AI that can grade essays instantly, personalize lesson plans, and even predict which students will struggle before they do. It all sounds futuristic, efficient, and maybe even a little too good to be true. As educators, we're used to hearing about the next big thing in educational technology, tools that promise to save us time, make learning more engaging, or fix persistent challenges. But before we fully embrace AI, we need to step back and ask some critical questions. What is AI actually capable of, and what is just clever marketing? How much does media shape our expectations? And most importantly, who benefits the most from AI's rapid adoption? Educational institutions, students, or the companies selling the technology? AI is becoming more embedded in education with promises of improving efficiency, personalization, and fairness. Many of us have already seen it in action, whether through automated grading tools, AI-powered tutoring systems, or predictive analytics that claim to identify struggling students. But some of the most controversial applications go even further, such as AI-driven proctoring tools designed to detect cheating by monitoring student behaviour. These systems track eye movement, head position, and facial expressions to determine whether students are engaged in dishonest behaviour. We've seen AI-powered proctoring systems being adopted in online courses and exams, especially as educational institutions search for ways to uphold academic integrity. On the surface, this technology sounds helpful, but in practice, it raises serious concerns. AI-driven cheating detection has flagged students for simply looking away from their screens or shifting in their seats, behaviours that could be completely normal for neurodivergent learners, anxious test takers, or students in environments where distractions are unavoidable. Facial recognition software has been known to misidentify students of colour, leading to disproportionately high false accusations. And because these AI systems often operate as black boxes, we may not even know how they reach their decisions, leaving both students and instructors with little recourse to challenge unfair accusations. This brings us to a larger issue, the overconfidence in AI's capabilities, fueled by media hype and corporate marketing. We've all seen news headlines declaring that AI is replacing educators, grading students better than humans, and predicting academic success with perfect accuracy. But what these headlines don't tell us is how often AI fails, or how its decisions can be biased, misleading, or completely wrong. At the same time, AI companies aggressively market their products to educational institutions, promising efficiency and objectivity while downplaying the potential for flawed or discriminatory decision-making. And because AI operates invisibly, processing massive amounts of data in ways that aren't always explainable, it often seems infallible. But as educators, we know that technology is never a magic solution. One of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it thinks like we do, only faster. But AI does not think at all. It recognizes patterns, makes predictions based on data, and follows programmed rules, but it lacks intuition, creativity, and real understanding. Another common belief is that AI is completely neutral and objective. The truth is, AI learns from human-generated data, which means it inherits human biases. If an AI grading system is trained on essays that historically favoured a particular writing style, it will continue to score those styles higher while unfairly penalising others. Even when AI appears to be working well, it still raises concerns. Automatic grading, for example, may seem efficient, but we've seen how it struggles with creativity, nuance, and diverse linguistic styles. Instead of assessing each student's work with fresh insight, it reinforces patterns from its training data. And while some might argue that AI can reduce educator workload, we have to ask, at what cost? If we outsource grading, feedback, and even lesson planning to AI, do we risk losing our professional judgment and ability to connect with students? Beyond the hype and myths, AI also presents challenges that we cannot ignore. Like any technology, it reflects the biases and limitations of the systems that create it. If an AI grading tool is trained primarily on data from native English speakers, it may unfairly penalise second language learners. Over-reliance on AI can also erode critical thinking skills, both for students and for us. If students accept AI-generated answers without questioning them, they miss opportunities for deeper engagement with the material. If we, as instructors, trust AI outputs without interrogating their validity, we risk reinforcing flawed conclusions. And then there's the issue of transparency. Many AI tools operate as black boxes, where even their developers cannot fully explain how they arrive at certain decisions. This is especially concerning in education, where AI-generated assessments or disciplinary actions could shape a student's future. On top of that, AI tools require vast amounts of data to function, and in many cases, neither we nor our students know how that data is being collected, stored, or used. Who owns this data? Can it be sold? How secure is it? With all these concerns, the role of educators becomes even more critical. We cannot assume that AI tools are objective or flawless. We must question the tools we bring into our classrooms and demand transparency from the companies that develop them. Instead of accepting AI at face value, we should be asking, who created this tool and what is their goal? What kind of data does it collect? How does it make its decisions? If an AI tool is used for grading or feedback, we need to test it, pushing its limits to see whether it produces biased or inaccurate results. Just as we teach students to think critically about the sources they use, we must also teach AI literacy, helping students understand AI's strengths, weaknesses, and ethical risks. Instead of passively accepting AI-generated responses, students should question them, cross-check them with other sources, and analyse the reasoning behind them. Our institutions should also demand greater transparency from AI vendors. If a company refuses to explain how its AI system makes decisions, should we really be using it to assess students? Most importantly, we must remain at the centre of decision-making. AI should support us, not replace us. It can be a tool to assist with routine tasks, but it should never take away our expertise, our professional judgment, or our connection with students. AI is not magic, and it should not dictate how education is run. As AI becomes more deeply embedded in classrooms, the most important question is not whether it belongs in education, but who gets to decide how it is used. Tech companies, administrators, and policymakers may have a say, but as educators, we must take the lead. AI should serve us, not the other way round. If we don't take control of the conversation, someone else will.